Ladies and gents, right, we've got it. It is Nick Montgomery's first home game as manager, and we are looking at this as a good time. So it is Hibernian v St Johnstone at Easter Road, and of course, the match day vlogs return. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe before this video starts, and we shall begin. So, and will let each and every one of the Hibs fans get to say their match predictions, because the last video I put out was actually more to do with the match day vlogs return, which are returning this Saturday, as in 2 days to go. It's happening, and that was the plan, because I have decided that now's the time lower, because that's where I go. You know, that's just, and the tickets are pretty good for anybody who watches my videos that aren't a Hibs fan, you know, just in case, because you never know. And then a nice, beautiful stadium on the back. So, let's begin. Basically, what are we going to expect against St Johnstone at Easter Road? An easy game, of course. Surely. We should be expecting an easy game at Easter Road, surely. Hibs going with a strong 4-4-2. It did work at Kilmarnock, but that was the first ever game under Nick Montgomery. You're looking at that lineup. What's the lineup going to be on Saturday? What are we going to expect? What can it be? You know, like, you just want to think, how do you Hibs fans want Nick Montgomery to set up for St Johnstone? Personally, if I was to go, if it's 4-4-2, that is, you would have Dylan Vente, Martin Boyle, and Ellie Johan up front. The three up front, well, the two up front players, because technically it would be the way you deal with it, 4-4-2. So, foreign defence, obviously, we can see that he's dropped Hanlon, which you have seen so far. So, which was last game, but I can see that probably becoming a regular thing now. In goals. Who am I going to put in goals? So that's a good question. I'll go with Boric. Then in defence, left wing, other wing. Yeah, I'll have to say Stevenson. I know that's not really a good idea, but Stevenson. Rocky Bashiri. Hardbottle. And I think I'll go with Will Fish. A wee bit of a strong force, you see what I mean? And then going into the centre of the pitch, Jago, Newell. Who's the other ones? I'd go with Dylan Levitt. Possibly Jake Doyle-Hayes, I guess. And then we go to the people that are just catching up with Boyle and that. So then you've got whoever that would help guide on Martin Boyle and Dylan Vente, because Dylan Vente and Martin Boyle will be the front two. So then you'll have Ellie Johan on the wing, along with Dylan Levitt. And then in the centre two would be Newell and Jago. So you're looking at that and you're like, right, that's going to kind of strengthen that up a bit. The reason why I want to keep Noah Stevenson on the pitch, have a wee bit of experience down there, because you want to do that. You don't want to just put like the usual inexperience and it doesn't work. You want a team that's willing to fight for the badge. Obviously, this is a Barcelona badge, my mistake. But you want to do that. You want to have a strong team that's going to attack. Now, we did look very threatening at Rugby Park last week. I will admit that one. We did look very threatening as a 4-4-2, because that's what works for Hibs. And I have seen a lot of posts saying that we need to make more of an atmosphere at Easter Road, but we can't do that until work has progressed on the pitch. Something for us to cheer about. That's what us Hibs fans want. We want good, entertaining football on the field, and I know that Nick Montgomery will bring that eventually. This is his first home game of the season. We just need to get right behind him, and I think, how's it going to plan it? That's the question, isn't it? You've just got to look and say, how do we want this to look? How do we want this to plan for the rest of the season under Nick Montgomery? Well, you're looking at the games we've got left in September. Saturday's game, which will be a big game, 12th v 10th. Hibs will be going into this game hungry for a win. I know it. Which, usually I say that and it doesn't happen, but I'm not going to say that isn't going to happen. Yeah, we did kind of out of nowhere last weekend. Kilmarnock just out of nowhere. 2 goals out of nowhere. And then basically Martin Boyle could have scored 2 seconds in at Rugby Park. That was the quickest start. Wasn't expecting that, but we did go 2-0 up. I'm surprised it wasn't more than 2-0 at Rugby Park, personally, and unrecognisable. And I know Nick Montgomery's been talking about this new identity and stuff like that. Like, go out, fight for the badge. And basically, you look at how he talks to the team. He's like, the opposition team will be feeling the pressure, so will we. And you just want to go out there and fight for the badge and just go for it. Fight all the way until the game is officially over at full time. Half time, you break, then you go to full time, and then you celebrate. So he's using the same words as Ange Postecoglou, and Nick Montgomery has already been praised by Ange Postecoglou because they both have worked together in the past in Australia. So the question I'm thinking is, where do we go going into Saturday's game? Now, I've seen a lot of predictions on the Hibs supporters group. There's 3-0s, there's 4-0s, 2-0s. Just depends on how well we play. 5-0 or 6, in my opinion. That's what I'm going for. I know I said 4-0 in the Hibs supporters group, but I'm going with 5 or 6 goals at least to Hibs. I think we can keep a clean sheet against St Johnstone, because looking at St Johnstone this whole entire season, they've not been very clinical at all this season. St Johnstone, they've conceded more goals than us so far this season. They've not won a game at all this season. Neither have Hibs, but we've lost 3 games on the bounce and then drew. So you're like, is this the game that's going to be where we're like, this is it? We're going to go into this game, we're going to win what we want. But I'm not sure entirely what's going to happen. But at the same time, anything can be possible. I think Nick Montgomery will have a good home game for the first game in charge at Easter Road, seeing all the fans cheering as he comes out, and then you'll have the commentator saying, please be upstanding for your new manager, Nick Montgomery, you know, because that's what he does. He'd done that with every other manager that came at the tunnel for their first home game, and then he got introduced, and then you just see them waving to the fans, and that's it, and then, you know, like the usual stuff like that. So basically, he'll feel the enthusiasm as he comes out, like the energy for the Hibs fans as the manager comes out, because then that'll be the new era at Easter Road under Nick Montgomery, because it'll be his first game. We want, as a club, we want to start going up the league now. No excuses anymore, because Nick Montgomery is not going to want to hear the players' excuses anymore, because that's what attitude he's got. Unlike our previous manager, Nick Montgomery isn't in the mood for players' excuses anymore, But now that the players are wanting to learn under Nick Montgomery, which is what we've been wanting, that's great. So we're in a good position here. The question is, what are we going to learn? We've got good players there. You've got Lewis Miller, you've got Adam Lefondre, Dylan Vente, Martin Boyle, Eli Johan, really good, strong players. Will Fish, underrated. Rocky Bashiri is a bomb scare. I have heard that a lot. David Marshall, don't know. And I know the goalkeeper coach has departed Hibs as well. The one that was appointed when Lee Johnstone was manager, he's gone because Nick Montgomery's brought in his own staff, which will do probably a better fucking job than what Lee Johnston's garbage men done. Didn't mean to swear there, but I'm just saying it's just, I needed to get that thing out and just say, right, there you go. But let me know your thoughts, Hibs fans, because I've gave my thoughts. You can give your thoughts as much as you need to, like predictions, the lot, you name it. And check out the previous videos on the YouTube channel. I will be starting a brand new segment on the YouTube channel, which will be called the Hibs Podcast, which is going to be just basically my own thing, but it'll just be called the Hibs Pod instead, which will be coming very soon. And there will be a lot of people on that, people for long bangers, hopefully, and many more. So that'll be coming pretty sort of later this month, probably next, and we'll kind of get there eventually, guys. Thank you for the responses to the matchday vlogs and reaction, and basically people dropping their scores on the Hibs supporters group. Appreciate that a lot. But you can comment your score predictions on this video as much as you need to. And remember to like, share and subscribe. I'm aiming to get to 100 subs as best as possible. If I can achieve that in between matchday vlogs returning and starting the new Hibs podcast, it'll be great, because that's what I want to try and bring to you guys as much as possible. And I want to say a huge thank you once again, and hope every Hibs fan has a wonderful evening for the rest of the night, and I will catch you guys in the next one.